Hello and welcome once again to Crazy Comics and Stories. It's me, your charming and delightful old Uncle Rat Bastard. And at the other end of the series of tubes and wires that we call the internets is Joe, Crazy Writer. How you doing today, Joe?
Psst. Hey, big party at your house after the podcast. Don't tell Cory.
Oh, I'm doing fine. Why? How you doing? What? Well, yeah. Hey, you know what? Whether you believe it or not, it was 24 hours ago today that we got together to play. We thought it'd be going in and out of style, but I'm going to quit before we get a cease and desist order. We had an impromptu geeking session formed out of the fact that there's a new comic store in town, Nerding Out, down in Inver Grove Heights. And if you hold on a second as I fire up the old Kray 3000, because I'm back in the basement now, I don't have to use the 4000 anymore. So they were down in Inver Grove Heights, and let's see if I can get the address. Because we visited their store in Rochester. Was it a year ago?
Yeah.
And let's see if I can. Well, we'll have to drop it. Maybe we'll drop it in the show notes if you think about it. But you can go to Nerding Out.
Nerdin, not Nerdin. Nerdin.
Yeah. Nerdin Out, NERDINOUT.com, and see not only pictures of their retail store in Rochester, but also in Inver Grove Heights. Had a lot of fun, a lot of stuff. But so this is kind of a how would you say it? This is more of an intro than anything. And yeah, it was kind of an impromptu day. We actually met up with the lovely Lisa Edmondson. She was actually her and Mike's 12th wedding anniversary that day, 12 years ago on the 4th of October. They got married at one of the MCBA cons. And so Lisa was in kind of a melancholy mood, but I think we cheered her up for a bit. Definitely did some geeking.
We met with the beautiful Butch.
Oh, yeah. We found him late as usual. Just getting out of the shower when I pulled up. I mean, I already told him, I said, dude, be ready because our next geeking day is Black Friday, assuming nobody else opens a shop or anything.
Yeah.
And after we did geeking at Nerding Out, we ran next door to, I think it's called Inver Grove Brewery, because that's what the name was on my receipt. And had dinner. But Lisa didn't really hang with us too much after that. She had to get home, take care of her dogs. And then, so you'll get the typical shenanigans when Cory, Butch, and I get together and drive in my truck.
Now, we aren't doing regular ads this time of year, Joe.
We are?
We're not.
Oh, we're not?
Right. Now, what did you go to college for?
Well, mostly just because that was the thing you did in the 80s. And eventually I decided to study speech just to get the counselors off my back, because after junior year, they freeze your records. So you have to go in and talk to them before you can register for classes. Kids, this was not the day of the do it all online stuff. This was you actually had to physically go to the pick up a catalog, decide what you're going to do, make sure your schedule worked, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you can't register because you have to talk to the counselor. You have to declare a major. So I declared speech, but what I really discovered was after 8 more classes, I could get a degree in political science. So that's what I ended up getting.
Oh, so as a political science major, Joe, is it important that we vote?
I do believe so. It's the least you can actually do in a democracy, and of course we're representative. Thank you, Tiv. I was going to try to say station democracy. So you vote for somebody else, hopefully that'll do what you wanted them to do, and that really on the level of being politically involved, that's the basic thing you can do.
So what we are doing, instead of having ads, we're telling you, please go vote. They say it every 4 years, but this really is the most important election in the U.S. of our lifetime. Head over to betterknowaballot.com. It's run by the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and on each state, he explains how to vote in your area, how to be registered, if you can vote early, if you can vote by mail, and how to do all those things. And now, on with the traveling.
Music day. Why are we going? It's a comic day, and
It's a pickle.
I'm in music. I'm so into me. Testing. Efferman.
So how do you guys find new bands?
I don't.
I don't.
I guess I'm old.
I fall down the YouTube vortex, which I don't get to do anymore.
Yeah. No, actually, that's a very good, because I was going to say, if I do...
I mean, we were talking about...
I go to record stores and I look at the covers of the records. Journey. Who's this Jefferson Starships?
Never last.
I've got almost stuck in the J's. Joan Jett.
Because I'm driving to work yesterday.
Yes.
Listening to NPR.
Yes. Not MP3s?
And, they're interviewing this. And they're...
Hey! Get off my ass! Get off my ass! Turn it off!
We now return you to our regularly scheduled idiocy.
I got a U-turn. Hold on,
Hey, Joe, what do you think?
There's a place for a comic shop.
Well, there's a place. Yeah, there is. There
you go.
That'd be a great place for a comic shop with a stone's throw from the new one.
So they're interviewing this British guy who's going on and on about, how, we...
Reminds me of the time I was on the African plains.
No, it's, jerks at shows and how music needs to be talking to the problems of today and blah, blah, blah. And, he's really, really serious with a gruff voice. And it's almost like, it's going to be some folk singer guy.
It was a Monty Python sketch.
No. And then it's, this sounds like early 80s punk starts playing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm all in.
And what was it?
And they're called the Idols. And I was thinking about, the last 3 bands I've really gotten into have either been from YouTube or they're being interviewed on a news show.
Well, it's because we're old men.
Yeah.
Go, Joe. Just go.
I go.
I call it.
Left turn on green yield.
Call
That's
it.
nothing about red. See,
I think I am the oldest fan of baby metal.
When
I think
used
so.
to be at, would be sitting at the computer, I gotta watch all
Tractor
day.
Supply is calling.
Oh, good. I would just put on YouTube, I'd always start with a band I knew, and then eventually, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. Or if you like this, you'll like this.
I'll hold it.
And, I'd...
You drive us around the cloverleaf without killing us.
Like, Pretty Reckless.
You are now listening to Joe Ryder.
Woohoo! Try to drive without swearing and form a coherent thought.
I would say more stuff, but I don't know what I'm talking about. This has been Stupid Butch is an idiot. Has no business being on a
Some guys
podcast.
just did a cover of Beatles Come Together. And
Aerosmith.
I heard snatches of it on
Snatches.
93X.
Okay.
And then, you Google it and eventually you find them.
Not a fan of that song.
I'm not really a fan of even the Beatle version, but the cover was pretty solid.
Interesting.
Five Finger Death Punch does a lot of hard covers.
Mm-hmm.
Another band that I wasn't aware of, and all of a sudden... But that's kind of the way new music is now. In order to find out about it, you usually find out it by streaming, and YouTube's kind of the biggest place to do it.
YouTube.
YouTube!
What, is this the most slippery, whatchamacallums that we ever
I
watched?
told you to get some double-sided tape.
Well, we're going to Target.
Cut a hole in it
Just
with a
past
knife.
Walmart. Usually we go to Walmart and just try to finish up our collection of
Walmart.
PCs.
I needed to go there and look for a vacuum cleaner, I told you.
That sucks.
God, he's so quick.
I got a zillion of them.
I got a million
We
of
were
them.
watching on, I think it was a CNN show about the changing times. How it used to be, you listen to the radio, or no, you bought God, what came first, LPs or 45s?
Yes.
45s came first.
So, yeah, you'd buy the 45.
78s came first.
And then they started playing music on the radio, and there was a lawsuit. And eventually they ruled, no, you can play music on the radio. It's not infringement. Because what had happened is the music industry is, oh, if you listen to it for free on the radio, you're not going to buy the music. And the radio stations are like, no.
Luckily, that mentality just drifted away.
Well, what it is now, radio stations charged.
They give a little piece of the action. When I was on college radio, they said that we don't have to track the music we're playing because we're a learning environment. Said it's a good idea to do it just because when you're in the real world, you got to track all the music you play because then they get pennies out to whoever.
Jefferson Starship.
Oh, that was some type of hovercraft.
Limousine.
So from there, it went to long playing albums, and then cassette tapes, and then
8-track tapes.
Well, before they got the CDs, there was a type of music that the music industry rebelled against because it was I could make you a copy and it would be perfect, absolutely perfect. Yeah. They weren't too worried about cassette tapes, although I guess blank cassette tapes pay a royalty too.
Yes.
So we were talking. I never bought cassette tapes. I always bought albums because I could always make a tape.
Yeah.
And then I was
on either side, you could have an album.
And then I was always worried because they'd get chewed up in the car or whatever. And okay, throw the tape out,
make
get
it
another
again.
one.
Yep, same, absolutely the same thing. Plus, I like the giant artwork, the stuff that came with the album, posters and lyrics, things like
Jeff
that.
O'Tool's flick. Yeah. Thick as a brick, folded out.
I knew guys whose tape case would get ripped off. And then I'm like, well, I still have all the records, and I can fit twice as many albums in the case, and it always made sense to me. Bigfoot's coming right down the hill there.
But the big one was this particular format, and I don't know what it was. But
was it the mini disc or DAT? Digital audio tape?
DAT. Digital audio tape.
And the music industry rebelled against it. They never passed it. They were for.
I thought that's what they used at the radio stations.
But they no, they used. Well, in the 80s, they actually used reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
Because it was all computerized. The program director would say, here are the songs we play, here's when we play them. Because when I helped out at a radio station down in Galesburg, they were mostly computerized, and this was 81 to 83. Everything was on reel-to-reel.
When were they playing actual records?
Rarely.
Rarely.
Because the program director was like, nope, I program it. You're the DJ. You just, try and make it entertaining. And the DJ, one of the reasons I didn't go into radio professionally, I knew one of the DJs there, and I hung out at the station from time to time. And he talked about how, the only way I make money at this is to have my own setup and DJ at weddings and schools and signings and stuff, because he was getting minimum wage.
Oh.
If you ever listen to Howard Stern talk about his early days, like when he started in the 70s, he'd get $100 a week.
Big bomber. $100 a week?
Yeah.
In the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd buy a lot of comics.
It's just like wrestling. It's the big guys. It's a very small pond at the top. You always think, oh, that sounds like a fun. No, trying to get there is crazy. More than likely, you
there's a million guys at the bottom and a few names you know.
You start out doing
in anything.
The hog reports in the middle of nowhere radio.
Yep.
And also, if they change formats, everybody's fired.
Yeah.
Or if the ratings weren't that good this quarter,
you're fired.
We're going to bring in somebody else.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Even though they're going to play the same music. No, we need a different DJ. He said that he actually quit doing DJ outside and started working at a Apple store because he said, well, computers are going to be the future. This was 82.
Jeez.
He didn't know what he was talking about.
No.
And he said that before he decided to give up on a radio career, he lived in 5 cities in 6 years.
Yeah.
Because he had to constantly move around.
One of the guys I worked with, I was commenting to him. I said, dude, you got a great voice. You sound like you're in radio. He goes, I was a DJ on KDWB. And I said, oh my God, more than
True Don Blue.
I listened to you. He says it's entirely possible. You listen to me. And same thing. There was no money in it.
So who is he?
Kevin Kubala.
Oh, I know.
I didn't ask what his if he had a DJ name or not.
The Flying Buttsman.
So you go from that CDs, and then MTV came along, and it was like you didn't have. That's what killed certain artists. Like I'm trying to think of
1, 2, 3, red light.
Christopher
Yes.
Cross. I mean, he's not photogenic at all. Beautiful voice, awesome songs, but he just couldn't film a video to save a soul because he just didn't have it.
Got such a long way to go.
And Billy Squire, one video killed his career.
Yep. So bands that now could do a video became hot. And that's where you get the rise of Madonna and people like that.
Duran Duran.
From there,
Duran,
it's
Madonna.
switched.
Madonna.
Now it's YouTube.
Madonna.
It's entirely possible.
Madonna.
You can make a living
Madonna.
just doing YouTube. That's how you get noticed. Do you remember at the shop, Brian and Dan hired a guy, I think his name was Kelly or something, long hair guy, and you really wanted to get him going. He worked at our store a couple times. You really want to get him going, he would just go on and on about how they paid so much music to Michael Jackson, Madonna. They didn't have any money to spend on up-and-coming acts.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's almost a minor miracle that a band even gets any type of recognition now because of that. You know,
Now?
It had all gone to touring.
It's all gone to the pedophile.
And now you can't tour.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite bands, Reverend Horton Heat, none of their records sold very well. But when they were on the road 300 days out of the year. And that's how they made their living. And he was one of those guys back, early in COVID where it's like, oh, it's wrong that they're shutting it down and blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people were like, oh, screw him. It's like, dude, you got to look at it from his point of view.
This is his
He
life.
has no way to make money now.
Yeah. There's even a band we had on one of our podcasts, Yam House, who's a local band, and really nice guys. The same thing. Everything's kind of gone to hell because they were going to do a tour and they can't. And if you're set up to do online stuff, that's fine. My cousin Dave Anderson, he does a live show every Tuesday. At least for a while, something happened on Facebook where they're not doing that. You can't do it through Facebook Live anymore.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't understand, and I probably should ask them about it. All these people who are making a living, they would do a Facebook Live, and you could tune in, you could listen. They put up, send us a tip jar via PayPal or whatever. And then all of a sudden, there was a change in Facebook. And they're like, it's no longer an operating venue. It's like you just shut off a revenue stream. I think it was probably Facebook was paying for the bandwidth and wasn't getting any money from it. Not that Zuckerberg's got enough fucking money in the world. I need more. I'm not quite sure what it was.
We're not here to support people.
No. So now, yeah, it's streaming. How do I find a new band? Or I rediscover an old band, or discover a new band just by there's somebody in the
When you say new
YouTube.
band, you mean current, right?
No, not necessarily.
But Cory posed the question, you jackass.
Yeah, but to me, it's irrelevant because again,
anything you don't know.
What was the Pretty Reckless?
Yeah.
Their big song's been out for 5-6 years. I just discovered it.
Right on.
Daft Punk had that weird techno sound, and I discovered it almost 7 years after it was hot. So yeah,
Goes into techno now.
For me,
Well, he likes the dance moves.
Well, he's still did the dubstep.
The problem's still
Doing the
same
hippie
as the
shake.
70s. and 80s. I listen to something on a current radio station, they never back sell. Who is this?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, either remember the phrase, because you can look up the lyrics on Google, or
that's easy
if
now.
if I feel like trying to kill myself, I can turn this recorder on my phone and catch a little bit of the refrain. That's like you said, that's current stuff. Where they're doing. That's how I discovered Five Finger Death Punch. They were, I'm listening to this song and holy shit, this is awesome. But they don't. Oh yeah, that was Five Finger Death Punch. Who? Or maybe it was Three Finger.
Well, a lot of the butt punch. A lot of the radios have the readouts on them, and you can ask your phone what's this, and it's a lot of easy ways.
Which again isn't things you're supposed to be doing when you're driving, but.
Yeah. Well, if I had one of those phones, it'd be a cold day in hell before I ever figured out how to do that.
One of my favorite things I did about a year ago on Facebook is I posted the meme, tell me a little about yourself, by what your favorite song is or what you're listening to. And boy, it was fun because you get exposed to a lot of different music.
Right.
Some days if I just think of it, I'm like, let's go find a video of, a woman playing violin. I can't remember the name of the artist. I'll talk to you about tonight. Oh, she does a lot of covers, like with Kiss and her own music.
Yeah.
It's just really dynamic. And she's cute.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you just killed it for me.
Oh, there is that, yeah. I didn't want to look at my music.
It always kills me. It's like, oh, wow, I discovered a new band. Oh, wow, this album was released 17 years ago. Oh, okay. Hopefully I'm not too late to the party.
Which at our age you consider new.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, yeah, look at been out of...
These Beatles guys. I really like them.
When my daughter
When's the next album coming out?
When's this new music?
I pick up a lot of music by listening to what she's listening to on Radio Disney. So like, oh, that's kind of a fun band. Let's listen to it. That was a lot
I think I checked into a monkey motel.
Synthesized. Oh, that was the one song on the tape where the kid's talking about playing basketball with Shaq. Took it to Shaq.
No, I don't know that.
I just was listening to what the heck is this? My daughter, half the time I can turn on music and Dana, who's playing? Oh, that's blah blah blah.
Yeah, my ears are always open. I mean, like you said, Corey, but I mean, if I hear something and I like it, I'm in. Or I keep my ears open and try to hear things I like.
It was so much easier.
So
I'd get $20 and I'd leave with two grocery bags full of albums from the Wax Museum.
Yeah.
And
$42.
And that was half the time you're like, oh, I'll just buy this because the cover looks interesting. Which is how I discovered Molly Hatchet with Frank Frazetta art. Or there was one album that had like a Robert Crumb comic strip on it.
Yeah. And that's Janis Joplin.
Yeah. That's how I discovered Janis Joplin. And then when I listened to it, it's like, oh, I remember her from on the radio because, again, they didn't back sell nothing, so I had no idea who this music was. I thought it was a guy singing. Come on, come on. And then you're like, oh, fuck, she's dead.
I thought it was Pop the Helium Bar Tonight.
Pop the Helium Bar Tonight. I hear you tonight.
I thought it was The Lurch.
The Lurch. I got Lurch. Isn't that funny when Ted Cassidy busts a move, you're thinking, he's so slow, and all of a sudden, boom.
That's a perfect example of what I was just saying. You recently sent me that Lurch video.
Yeah, this is from
my response was, how did I
never see it?
Yeah, how did this get by me my entire life?
And I found out about that. Well, I knew about that because somebody did they took a
Lurch review.
Pictures of Wendy Adams dancing next to Lurch, trying to teach him how to sing, and they put like some modern rock song to it. And then YouTube pops up all these other things.
Right.
You're probably like this. And then for Record Store Day this year, they actually released...
Put something on the YouTube, I don't care what it is!
They released a remake of the 45 of that, saying this is one of the rarest ones ever released.
Not anymore. You can watch it any day you want.
Oh, even the re-release is it's like $80. I got mine for $25, so I'll put mine at, hey, this looks like a good place for a comic store.
I watched mine for relatively
I'm sure
free.
Cedar Cliff wouldn't mind moving.
Cedar? Yep.
Actually, he told me last time I was thinking about it.
Again? He told you? He talked to you?
Recording.
I got devil dinosaur. I got devil dinosaur. Don't what? Erase you. He wins.
I slowed you. I mean, now who's going to push Zoidberg around?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I do not know. My guess is they were calling around to find comic shops.
What are you talking about?
Interested
For God's sake,
in-
set the stage, man.
Oh, fuck. Okay, take two.
Continue.
I'm not doing it.
My name's Joe.
Fuck you. I'm going to talk to you.
What are you talking about?
Corey, set us up.
All right, so we have been asked to give our experience with the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. That was from '94, right?
Give or take.
Yeah. Joe owned a comic shop in St. Paul, Comic St. Paul at the time.
I don't know.
And we had the actor, Alex Hyde White, there for...
Hi, Alex.
he was going
We
to
know
be
you're
signing,
listening.
Oh,
and
by the
then
way-
that night was going...
We were supposed to have
the next day was going to be the premiere
we
at
were
the Mall of
supposed to
America.
have we were supposed to have the actor who played the Thing as well.
Oh, Michael Bailey Smith.
However, he got a paying gig, so he couldn't do the tour. What they were doing, and this was so rare,
I would have liked to have met
the
him.
actors were
He was
doing
cool.
ground level. They were going to comic shops trying to drum up support for this movie.
He wasn't there. Who was the guy in the Thing mask?
I don't know.
That was you.
Oh, what a doofus.
So we get a call, and I don't know. It had to have been from the Publicist, whatever. So they were setting up. They had 3 stores in town. He went to Comic Archives, Hot Comics St. Paul, and then Hot Comics Edina.
He did, huh? He hit all those places?
Yep. So he would come. There'd be movie props. We'd set up the signing. They'd talk. So basically, I remember the Publicist, saying, "This is amazing that the actors are willing to do this, to go to stores to try to drum up ground level support." Because face it was a Roger Corman movie. It was low budget. They were just trying to get people excited about it, and it didn't cost us anything. With the stores that got involved, then we would be a part of the red carpet premiere, which would happen at Mall of America's Planet Studio.
Planet Hollywood.
Oh, Planet Hollywood, thank you. And, you walk down the carpet, you're part of the advertising, you get to see the movie on the big screen. So it was like, hey, whatever, sounds like fun.
Oh, that was great.
I forget the name of the magazine. Was it Fantasy Illustrated or something?
Film Threat.
Film Threat had a cover article. I think this was before the movie came out.
Yes.
So there was like something to have and sign and whatever. So Thursday he was going to Comic Archives. I mean, one of these days, if we could ever get Brent Moore to come and talk to us, he can tell us what happened down there.
Brent.
He came to our store and then went to the Edina shop on Saturday. So, number one problem was we had a snowstorm coming through on Friday. So I knew right away that was going to kill any enthusiasm, to come out in a snowstorm and check it out. And it was a crappy Minnesota winter day, probably ice rain, I don't remember. I remember picking him up at the hotel he stayed at. I don't think it might have been the Thunderbird. It might have been the one across from it at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And
Days in.
we drove back, and he was real curious, how the turnout would be. Would it be any good?
No.
And the problem was, I was like real apprehensive because of the lack of cooperative weather. As my recollection of the signing was, he was set up in the back of the store. He brought the Thing's head because, as you said, the other actor couldn't come. And I believe the Human Torch and the Invisible Girl.
He had a prop up of the Dr. Doom mask, too, that could sit on the table with him.
They also were working, which is why they didn't tour.
Or we could have gotten the whole Fantastic Four. And the Jeweler.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Oh, the Jeweler.
Yeah.
That Jeweler.
One of the greatest villains of all time.
Yep.
So
I bet.
he came, he did the signing. I've got pictures on, if you go to my Facebook page, Joseph Ryder, or it says Joe Crazy Ryder, and go to my albums under Hot Comics, you'll see pictures of the actual signing. Butch in a thing mask, my partner Pat, myself, Alex Hyde White, a couple other shots as well.
Polaroid, Ma.
Yeah, fading Polaroids. You fancy kids in your digital cameras. Anyways, my recollection, it went okay. I mean, he wasn't in the best of moods. It was kind of a bust in terms of a signing. A few people came in. There were a few autographs. Afterwards, I took everybody involved out to eat. Now, what I didn't realize is apparently when I wasn't around, either Pat, Mr. White apparently was really talking smack about Gruber. Because my partner at the time was a 300-pound baby-faced Muppet, to put kindly.
And who knew him from appearances on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't
other appearances. Yeah, right.
So, all I know is one of the guys
Apparently
who
didn't
was
like
our
the fans.
customers wasn't very appreciative of what Mr. White was talking smack on Gruber. Oh, take him outside and smack him. It's like, well, thank God he didn't. But, again, the signing was okay. There were a few people, a bad day, and then afterwards we took everybody out to dinner. At the dinner, we had to stop and get his girlfriend, and that's why I remember waiting. I don't know who. Did either you guys? Did you come to dinner with us?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we came. Okay, so we came. We were at dinner.
So, stopping at that point, let's get back to the shop. What was your recollection of the signing, if any?
Anything, Cory? You got it?
I remember it was new. That was back when comics still came out on a Friday, and I didn't even know that the guy was going to be there, and I was helping at the shop. Yeah,
that was
I was
the
there
problem.
all the time.
It really happened fast, so there wasn't time to hey guys, this is happening next week. Let's do some flyers. Again, no interwebs, you fancy kids, no social media. So yeah, it was pretty much. I was counting on the fact we get a lot of people because it was free comic book day. That's why
New comic book day.
New comic book day. Anyways, continue.
And a few people asked him. Butch, of course, had kind of done what he does with all guests. Butch kind of adopted him and just kind of hung out at the table, shooting the breeze with him because there weren't a lot of people coming up for autographs. I remember I asked a few questions about the production and everything, and he was polite enough, but you could tell that he would much rather have been anywhere else on this planet.
Well, and I think also, he was doing it with his bud, and then all of a sudden his bud had to cancel, and I was like, oh God, I'm tied into doing it alone. Now here's the best news. In between, I don't know if this occurred while he was there, or if it occurred between our signing and the dinner. But he found out 20th Century Fox bought the rights to the film. They bought the rights to Fantastic Four, bought the rights to the film, and they were shelving it.
Yeah.
So basically everything he's been doing, including this signing, and I should mention we didn't pay anything for the signing. It was all part of the studio's push. And he still had one more signing to do tomorrow. Was for nothing. So all the work, all the excitement, all the ground support, nothing. It was being bought, it was being shelved. We didn't know about we pretty much figured, the walking the red carpet, the grand opening, Hot Comics being a big part of it, Comic Archives being part of it. Meh. So, going to dinner, he was not in the best of moods. What do you recall about at the shop?
I don't remember much about it.
Of course, you were in that thing mask a long time. You might have had some oxygen.
Yeah, these was early mask wearing problems. He lost me when there was this nice guy that used to come in the shop with his kid, right? And they were pretty enthusiastic about him being there and asking him a lot of questions and stuff. And you could just tell he wasn't into it, I remember at one point him telling them that the trailer was up at the front of the shop, and they thought he was talking about an actual trailer, so they're looking out in the parking lot, But Joe had the little TV up in the corner, and we were running the trailer on a videotape, if you guys remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just one trailer, and then we'd rewind it.
It was set to rewind.
And anybody who wanted to watch it. But anyway, after a while, that guy and his kid were back there and talking to him again. And I remember him going to the kid, come here, okay, come here. And he took his permanent marker that he was signing nothing with because there was nobody there, and he drew down the middle of the kid's nose with the permanent marker. And I thought, you dick.
That's funny.
So fuck you, Alex Hyde White.
Yeah!
Little prick.
And that was before dinner. So at dinner...
Here's your thing, mask.
At dinner, of course, he dropped the news. He was telling us about it. Obviously not happy. He's in the middle of Minnesota in a snowstorm. And everything they've been working for is for nothing. He's still got one more signing to do. Whatever. It was game over. I do know at the dinner, though, I talked with him a lot and just tried to talk to him about acting, getting into it. You know, I said, you know, how I see different actors appearing on, like, certain actors would appear on this show and on this show and on this show because they were all being filmed by Paramount. And he kind of, Paramount. I hadn't thought about going over there yet. And, you know, that was pretty much it. It came, it went. It was just a minor blip.
And he was wearing boots that you've never seen anybody else wear. I got it.
Okay. So, yeah, it was kind of... It was cool because it was free. It had the potential to be a little bit more.
Not that the boots weren't cool.
No. And he brought the mask. So, yeah, I dropped them off and that was it. I have no idea how it went at Hot Comics. Maybe I'll drop a Visa line and see how it went the next day. But, yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, I know he was kind of a dork to people, but, you know, you work hard, you're doing all that stuff, and it's like, it's all for naught anyways.
Yeah, you're hanging by a thread just to begin with. Being in a Roger Corman Fantastic Four
movie. And then I
movie.
think you, as a epilogue, or how do you say, what's the little end piece on Coda?
Coda, epilogue.
Addendum.
You brought in, I believe, a bootleg copy of the movie that we did on our bad movie sale.
I did. Picked that up at the Chicago Comic Convention.
Yep, we played also. We had bad movies. Jesse Ventura's Abracus. We had the Star Wars Holiday Special. We had
Skippy.
Yeah.
Boris and Natasha.
Oh my gosh, we played all. Yeah, that was fun. We never did get to do Corey's idea, Son of Bad Movie Sale, but
children shouldn't play with dead things.
And that's pretty much our. I remember doing a newsletter for No More, how everything was canceled and blah blah blah.
Also, I believe you used a picture of somebody in the Thing mask for your picture in one of the retailer magazines.
Yeah, which started off a whole avalanche there, but that's a different story.
Of people sending in oddball pictures.
Yeah, instead of their regular picture. I said, I don't want to see my picture in a magazine.
Hell.
So
send that guy's picture.
Well. By the way, remind me, if Tommy wants to go. I don't know if he has interactive stuff, but he can grab those pictures for free off my website.
Tommy.
Off the Facebook.
Oh, you're not going to charge him? Oh, you're so generous.
Oh no! Someday I'll crash your bad movie parties after Taco Bell and White Castle.
Ooh.
I'll fumigate that house for you.
I don't know. We've been known to drive people away permanently.
With your movies?
Yep.
I don't know. Last time I was there, my car almost got driven away.
Yeah, well, with Joe and I have been known to sit and not talk to somebody for half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I have company over, I have to leave.
Yeah, there is that. Where are you going? I'm going to Stillwater. Hey, I told my wife I was going to get gas.
You know what I love about Joe is you don't even have to explain it to him. Just go, hey, Joe. That's it. And he's good for the rest of the day.
I was talking with Butch about that when we did the live podcast. And you were finally, somebody sit down, we're going to go. And we just kind of nodded at each other. So.
The video.
And we just held still, and you're behind us hitting me. Stop that! Stop that! And finally you just walked away.
From the files of Police Squad.
And people wonder why I retired.
And again, without any real communication.
No, just
a look.
One of these days, it's still up on the YouTubes, right?
Yeah.
One of these days, I never got past the beginning where we were talking. It's just Corey and me going back and forth like we're watching a ping pong game or something.
Ooh.
And then finally I got the bright idea of flipping it around. So, hey, let's look at the crowds instead of watching us.
Because we're boring.
We are.
Oh, God, I'm so boring.
Okay, now I gotta roll the window down. For some reason my AC is dead. I tried to get the AC going so that we weren't like sweating like pigs.
Oh, well, nice try.
Why do you want to sweat like a pig?
We're going to that video store now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Store.
Sure.
Yeah, just what the doctor didn't want.
Hey, this Tonka truck keeps bonking me in the head. I won't know where we're going.
Yeah.
Well, you hold that. I'll hold this. And Joe, what are you holding?
I'm, well, not the steering wheel. The
Oh,
car drive
boy.
pretty much drives itself. Here's where you put in the stock footage going over.
Oh, you got a self-driving truck.
And then
is that
back
what
up.
that is? I just thought it was bad suspension. Everybody lean to the right. Yay! Now to the left. Woo!
We get Lisa's ride, we won't have this problem.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Or Joe's wife's
I
ride.
keep telling Joe to buy a new truck.
Chris decided.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, buy a new truck,
Well, it'd be more
Joe.
fun because I'll only get a two-seater. Corey, guess where you're riding today?
Shoot, you did, Joe.
Ah, shut up, Joe.
Joe, oh, look how we baby do,
I've
Joe.
been looking high and low for that movie, and I cannot find it.
I'm gonna get you.
What?
At one
I'm gonna get it
time,
for you.
Jerry
Oh,
Lewis.
Family Jewels.
Oh, he does
Oh.
every role. It is amazingly funny.
Look at your baby do, Joe.
What you made me do, Joe? Cut your hair off. Drink a Van Gogh. Why'd you talk to me, Joe? Well, shut up, Joe.
Cut your ear. Cut your lip. Stick it behind your ear. Push out the window.
And then, of course, I talked that way, and then I was driving with the kids. They'd be like, "Shut up, Joe." So I'd get this thing where I'd start. Okay, we're gonna read all the street signs. Bing. Just no emergency only. No parking here. Right,
Nick
turn
was
left.
telling me about the Family Jewels on the way down to Chicago one time, and then on Saturday night he's like, "Oh my God, Butch, look, it's on."
Oh, serendipity, baby!
Which, yeah, I just, now in the retrospect, I'm like, did he see that in the TV guide?
Oh, probably.
Well, anyway, he was telling me about it on the way down there, and then we watched it. We came back ranting about it. We were at the shop, and he's like, "All right, you fly, I'll buy." So I ran down to Suncoast at the mall and picked up a videotape of it, and then we watched it at the shop every
He's
day
on
for
38th Avenue, right?
a month. Nobody
Oops,
knows.
I-
Nobody
Turn it on
knows.
42nd.
We're blocks away,
I'm
Joe.
sorry, blocks away.
Blocks off.
Fire away. Wrong, I gotta take
Rip
a
your
wrong.
lip.
Dog in the other car is just looking at you.
Rip the lip.
Looking away.
You're a very judgmental dog.
Stick it behind your ear.
I can't tell the difference between a dog and a dog.
Push out the window.
Bring up Van Gogh.
Dog is very upset with you.
And then, of course, that would be my bad driving voice. Come on, yo. Ignore the red. Get away. Hey, your back wheel's going forward. Get out of my way.
So I still have that videotape, by the way.
Ka-Zar,
What does that mean? Is that good?
Ka-Zar
Or am
brought
I
in...
geek?
You're a geek.
That's good.
Nerd, dweeb,
No, nerds are smart.
Poindexter.
TK.
Poindexter.
Well, now you cross the line, Joe.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
Oh, sorry,
Wait a
Joe.
minute. Don't we have a listener
What do you-
named Poindexter?
Yeah.
Sorry, Poindexter.
Oh, gee, Joe.
Jeez. Hey,
What-
Poindexter, you can get a job assembly for $14.18 an hour.
What did DK bring in?
Call this number. He burned off copies
Spiders.
of the
fire-
Fantastic Four movie, and while we weren't allowed to technically sell it, he was selling the discs
Oh,
for
yeah.
a buck a piece.
Yeah.
It's like, disc for sale, buck a piece.
Yeah.
Look,
I thought you were going to say the
Look-
firearm videotape.
firearm.
Duh.
I need to get one of them, Joe. I got one of them, you know. The sad thing was, the tape was much better than
The numbers issue
the
zero
issue
comic.
Zero, yeah. I'm all excited, like, oh man, this is a great setup.
The regular comic was kick ass.
Ah, shut up, Joe.
Okay, Joe.
I'm tired of it, Joe.
Oh, James
I'm tired.
Robinson, Joe.
But
No.
Joe had to buy it anyway.
Call it
because it's
Hamburger.
Malibu.
You know, I bought a comic.
Oh, I still have it. It's sitting at
It's
my house.
part of Ultraverse there. So
If you want it mint condition, though, that blister pack videotape, it just fell off.
$125. And then there's a red
Never been one.
There's a red videotape variant. That goes to $150, Joe.
I got that one.
I got that.
Yeah.
All right,
Good to have it after
I'm
an
gonna take
hour
my
when I get home.
videotape and I just spray paint it.
Yeah.
Red. Now we'll go.
Oh, we're blocks away.
I glue it back in.
Bicycle Boulevard.
Bicycle. Look at that dog. Oh, your dog shouldn't do that to a tree. I'm telling you.
Gee, look at that dog. Oh, gee. And
I
then,
gotta roll the window down.
who are they walking?
Oh God, that was a good pork loin.
Oh,
I'm ruining this guy's style. He's out trying to hunt squirrels.
they're a good imitator.
What's
That's
that?
all.
What's that road? Drive like you live here.
Plenty is plenty.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I love doing that in my neighborhood. I do live here!
You maniac!
Oh, 40th Avenue, Joel. Oh, you know, we can't go any farther. I'm going this way. I'm going to follow this guy, get him nervous.
Especially after revving your engine at him.
We're
Coming for you.
I'm going this way. Turd blobs him.
We're coming for you. We're coming for you. I come in peace.
Come on. Oh, no, that's a dead end, Joel.
Joe!
Joel. For goodness sakes.
Make your bad go, Joe.
You got to stop. I got the cold.
He's a little grabby there.
Stop.
Where do we go, Joe?
Look at his houses, Joel. Look at the place for a comic.
Shut up, Joe!
Joel.
Yeah, I'm not sending Tommy this.
I go this.
Tommy, Joe.
Hey, Joel.
Tommy.
Just tell him it's a separate file. Tell him this is our first attempt.
Send him just that.
So, what? Oh, we must have missed it. It was a great
It
story.
was a good story.
I haven't seen nothing like this since the Legend of Fucker Man.
Fucker man. Oh, I love my fucker in my hand.
Fuck you, Aaron Hindlight.
And I think I'm gonna have a fucker man.
God, Joe.
Fucker man. Come here, kid. I'm gonna draw a line down your nose.
Oh, kid. I'm gonna draw your line down your nose,
Oh, you're gonna
Joe.
like it.
Line down your nose,
I'm
Joe.
gonna sniff that one.
That was not nice.
No. Alright, that's funny. You're like,
Probably one of the reasons why you didn't hear much from him.
I was in Babylon 5 afterwards.
And
I don't know, Joe.
I wasn't paying attention, Joe. Hey, who built this thing on where the old gas station used to be, Joe?
What's happening, Joe?
I don't get it.
Joe.
I just don't make
Top
sense.
thumb.
Doesn't make no sense.
Let's go to the top thumb,
I'm
Joe.
going on Dreamhaven. It's
Business is hopping,
it's
Joe.
probably closed.
Yeah, things are looking good,
Things
Joe.
are looking good. Hey, right there, Joel.
Joe.
I get the part where it says Joe.
Take a,
That's my parking lot.
hey, you know, Joe. Is that the title of the episode?
Joe!
Joe!
Come on, Joe.
Make a van go, Joe. Shut up, Joe.
Shut up, Joe.
Turn it back on. Joe!
And I think
Joe.
it's gonna be a fucker.
it is recording.
Hey, we're back. Yeah, send that to Tommy.
I just can't get the right file. Well, it's just no different than you trying to send me your stupid radio show, your wrestling show, Corey.
Ah.
It's stupid because I don't get it.
Yeah, I was going to say, everybody else has no problem. Because they put it up on the website immediately after.
I don't know, Joe.
I
Try to download it, Joe. Go
tried
download it.
I got no luck downloading. I think he's gonna be a fucker, man.
Is that the only Tom Thumb left?
I
Could be.
don't know. I don't know.
After he broke out into donuts, he just didn't.
There's a Hennepin Railroad Museum with an operating display in there.
That is amazing. I've been in there before.
Oh, we got it, Joe.
It's not open.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know. We can
tomorrow,
We could do like we did with Dreamhaven. Just go there and
stand around like dorks.
there you go. They're closed.
Joe.
They're not open, Joel.
Oh.
They're going, Joel. Get me halfway across country. I could be at Target right now.
What a maroon. What an ignorama bull.
What an ultramaroon. What a nincow poop.
Smell like laundry.
COVID does. I was going to take a left turn there, Joel.
I miss Tim Hortons.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Donuts.
It's a poor man's Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my
Canadian
Lord.
Dunkin' Donuts.
U.S. Dunkin' Donuts.
Worse than a Dunkin' Donuts?
Nothing's worse than Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, God, I wonder if he...
Winchell's? Block at the crosswalk, Joe.
walking across one. No, it crossed here.
I recently had to tell someone the story of when Krispy Kreme came to Minnesota for a few years.
Was it like the Howard Stern story?
Well, except Krispy Kreme, when it first got here, was insanely popular.
Yeah, there were lines around the blocks.
We took a run out there for the weekend. It was me, McDonough, I believe Brian Wilson. I don't think Nick was with us. But we were in Gruba. We were in that Gruba-mobile.
Out there for the weekend. To Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, it was the only one way up in Maple Grove. What's up?
I remember the one down by 90. And when it opened up, there was a line over a mile long. First weekend.
We ate it like at 1 o'clock, so I'll be ready.
That's why you'd never go then. Wait till the next weekend.
Well, I needed to use that road because that's how I would go home from
I
my
ate chicken
conference.
already.
Right. Right. There's a real train coming.
Grow your own career. What are you doing today? I'll probably work on eBay.
It's Mary's brother Joe's birthday today. Joe.
Never trust
Happy
him.
birthday, Joe.
Never trust Joe. That's a big bad mother trucker.
Build your own career, Joe.
I'm on 35th Street.
Oh, nice white walls.
Nice tires, Whitey.
Look at that white wall.
I don't know where I am.
You're just off of 55.
We're on the tracks. We're in training, sir.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Squirrel House Arts.
That is very neat.
I got to size roll, Joe.
Squirrel Joe.
Squirrels are okay. I still don't. Not a big fan.
Not a fan.
Not even painted on the side of a building?
I'm not even flattened under my tire.
I try to avoid them when I drive.
Stupid squirrels. You go squish now.
No, that's raccoons.
I like to play possum. You do, huh? Well,
I've been playing possum at work for years.
There's
They think I'm dead.
Heroic goods and games.
I like to play
He's
opossum.
got stuff in there. He's just
Yeah, I
not
see
open.
comic boxes.
Hey, Paul, we drove by your shop again.
Thank goodness. Keep moving.
He's been doing a lot online, but I don't know if
Oh, Joe.
he actually has hours yet.
We got a knock on the door. What was that? They had a open display at the Minnehaha Scoop.
Scoop.
Overhead door open. Oh my, I want to go there. Trilon Cinema.
Cylon.
I don't patronize the kinema.
By your
Name that
command,
movie, Corey.
We will watch this movie
I don't know.
and enjoy it. Thumbs up or down? I don't have thumbs.
Pile of dirt.
And we're heading into the riot zones. That looks like a unique fixer-upper, Joe.
There's the new hot comet.
Over there was the third precinct. It's now empty pit.
It's a disgusting hole in the ground.
That was before it burned.
Let's go to Uncle Hugo's.
I heard that books are all off. It says like, I'm gonna make chicken. I already had chicken in it. Oh, you're gonna have it again?
Tell her I'll come. I'll come
Like
over.
a pork tenderloin.
Oh, I don't want any more meat today.
I'll come over there.
Turn it into a meatloaf. Butch will eat it.
Fucker, man.
Think it's gonna be a long, long time.
So did we ever really talk about Nerdin Out?
We didn't know. We didn't. Normally we do, but we didn't.
Normally we do talk about Nerdin Out.
You think we ought to?
Normally we nerd out.
We could, and you could just drop it in today's pod or the next podcast.
Fuckerman's podcast.
What a massive, spacious outfit that was. Nerdin Out.
Yeah.
Nerdin Outfit.
So we checked out the new Nerding Out down in Inver Grove Heights. We'll drop the address and all that later.
Nerd in Gout.
Their second store.
Ran into the owner. Where basically it's not fully merchandised. but they're going to have new comics. They're going to have room for gaming. We wandered through a lot of cool toys.
They've got bathrooms. It's so important.
It's just so nice.
Yep.
Not that I've availed myself to them for 15 minutes or so. And then
But Cory did.
They had a bunch of comics, not priced, just kind of mixed in and everything. And we went to town. Dug through everything. Found some good deals. I'm sure I'll be talking about them in the future. And of course, things that I want to go on eBay. But I met the owner.
Things he doesn't want to talk about. Because with the kid, I get better reception to my jokes than the wife, who I get no reception to my jokes. Well, I said something yesterday and she told me I was not funny.
You're not funny.
What was it?
Oh, don't worry, Butch. Your kid will soon think you aren't funny.
Not anymore.
But then after a while, she'll think you're funny again. My son thought I was hilarious during his wedding.
Nice. Nice. I mean, that makes it all worthwhile, really.
Oh, and he was so nervous.
So there you go.
Fire it up. I'll give you part 2 of the Nerding Out story.
It's on.
Okay.
Testing.
Test! You flunked. So I'm talking.
And if you want to be on the show, go ahead and call on the hotline.
Yep.
Operators are standing by.
And they won't answer. They're just standing by.
Paula Revere is standing by.
Think to give them orders to answer the phone. Just stand by.
Oh, there's a car coming. Slow down.
I ran into the owner. He was going through the back issues like we were. And I just said, you know, they always had wanted to
Best diner in the world.
crack into the Twin Cities market. You know, they have the store in Rochester. And they got a deal on the space because it's been vacant a number of years. And now they're set up. And I was going to ask him, are you going to bring the life-size Spider-Man up? Because we need a life-size Spider-Man in town.
Yeah.
There's a direct.
I'd even take a giant-sized Spider-Man.
I would.
Or the
We don't
Ameridroid.
need a man thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Corey flashing his giant-sized man thing around.
Or, you know, Captain America as a werewolf. You know, I was a werewolf once, Bucky.
Duh. Once, Bucky.
I asked if they're going to
A lot
have
of things
the
happened while you were working for the Russians, Bucky.
Nerding Out Con, if they're going to come up here.
Yes,
But,
and yes.
Not sure.
We'll get on it.
Well, they're not sure there'll be conventions.
Well, get on it. Thank you.
You have to find a venue.
Thank
and
you
then
for your input.
I'd mentioned that we work with the MCBF. And
If it still exists.
I think this.
We,
Did I get a Corey-proof door on my next one?
It's still recording.
Woohoo!
Here.
Okay, so what do you guys think of Nerding Out?
spacious, massive, clean, new.
Yeah.
Yep, I like all kinds of comic stores, and that is one.
It really...
I just call it a comic store.
First off, it did not live up to what it said it would be on their website.
Uh-oh.
Because they said, you know,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to have all of this and all of this and all of this, and there'll be food trucks, and boy, there was
Pandemic.
just nothing.
Is it that one?
The store could be cool.
You don't mess with some people. Well, compared to what we saw down in Rochester.
Yeah, if you go to their website, you can actually do a tour of the store on the website. They have a 3D thing where you can actually walk through the store on their website. So if they set it up the same way, it's mostly a gaming store. Which, to be honest, that's really smart. Board games are what's hot right now.
Well, you did say they were going to set up a wall with new comics.
Yeah, they're just getting started.
Just a matter.
Can't hold them to what we saw today.
And the video games.
Potential.
Video game section, you know, used games. Used video games, I don't know if they still sell because I hear GameStop is in trouble. But I go through used video games.
GameStop. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh,
GameStop.
my.
No. Nope.
What?
Nope. And then Corey stops.
Hey, pretty skateboarder.
Dead in his tracks.
Damn right. But they have a lot of potential. If they're getting the space really cheap. I don't know, are there any other shops around them, or are they kind of
Not really. I mean, the next one is like we drove. There you got Dragon's Lair in South St. Paul, which again was half the size of the other place, which is comics and gaming. And then there's the Hastings store, and then Cedar Cliff. And there might be other stores around. Every so often I discover a store, like on Grand Avenue, there's a gaming store. And I was like,
Do it, it won't.
I haven't been there yet.
Will you stop starting and stopping
Hey,
and,
well, Minneapolis
and taking
loves their
turns
fucking
and
stop
driving?
signs. Every other block, let's have a stop sign. I just can't go racing random.
Yeah, you'd rather have a drag race.
Well,
Well,
and then when you
because we're
get
going
to
through a neighborhood.
and when you get to the corner, not know if the guy's going
neighborhood.
across with. Now here, we got a street sign and a red light. So let's. There. Will this make you happy, Your Highness?
Is that me? No.
No, it won't make him happy.
Or is it the government officials?
No, you.
No, you.
How do the
No, you.
How do the government officials feel?
You.
Then we went to Cedar Cliff, where he had a whole bunch of new Marvel stuff.
Yep.
Looks like he cleared out some inventory list. You know, it's always nice to go in. He's really good at hitting that clearance rack.
And his prices are more than
yeah.
fair. You know.
Yeah, I hit him a couple weeks ago and ranted about it, and yeah, it's fun stuff to see. And if you follow him on Facebook, you already know he had it weeks ago, because he always posts when he gets finds like that. So that was fun. I dug through the back issues, picked up some cheap stuff, and again, I'll go home and figure out, do I have it? Do I don't have it? If not, eBay. We drove down Minnehaha Avenue to check on our friend Paul at Heroic Games. Looks like he's setting up, but the store was not open. Stopped at Dreamhaven as well.
Dreamhaven. How was that?
Closed.
Oh.
Oh, we got a picture of me on the Captain Marvel bench.
bench.
Oh, Marvel.
The Batman one finally gave up. So, and then we went to Nostalgia Zone.
Yay.
Which we've been trying to go to for almost a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And did.
Timing of clothes and stuff, but well, I gotta give them props because I was looking for a specific issue and they have everything in their computer, and he was able to look up and say, nope, we are sold out at the moment. And I double checked because it was a higher priced book. I figured I wanted to make sure it wasn't like behind the counter. So if you're ever looking for a specific issue, you can call Nostalgia Zone and they'll tell you right away if they have it or not.
And I got my Ka-Zar the Savage number 20 that I've been looking for a while.
Is that the Spider-Man fight?
A few years. Yeah, but it's the Craven, specifically the Craven fight.
Now,
Yay.
Cory busted the bank at $50, bought, how many?
10.
10 graphic novels.
Yeah. Good deal.
You would think
I
a
would
man
not
like Strode would have everything he needs.
Well, this is more obscure stuff that they have.
Oh, yeah.
Like the video game, the comic book history of video games. Not by Fred Van Lente, by the way. So, just oddball stuff. That's kind of what I look for. The other thing that was at Nerdin Out, when I was in college, my college girlfriend liked these books, Gore. It's a fantasy series by John Norman. And it's really kind of strange.
And gory.
No, not really.
Oh.
The women are all slaves. The men are all, big He-Man muscle
Oh,
guys.
well, why didn't you tell me about this book?
And he had nearly a complete run.
Really?
And they're very hard to find now because they went out of print a while ago and nobody wants to pick them up and reprint them for some reason. But she really loved them, and I did not read them at the time because I'd read one of them and it wasn't exactly my cup of tea. But I figure, if it's something that she enjoyed a lot...
Then you'll be able to get back together with this.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
she passed away.
Oh.
She passed away of lung cancer.
Ugh.
I may have
Okay.
some Gore books because I was picking them up as well. If I find them, I'll wing them your
Okay.
way. It was just
Wing
one
'em.
of those where I kept running into them, and I'm like, I've seen enough of them. Maybe I'll pick them up and start reading them, and then
That's burned gone, yeah.
they get buried.
And she was big on those books. Lawrence Sanders Mysteries and any Star Trek book with Spock in it.
That's not logical.
And she always wished they would have done a story about how Spock's mother and father got together. Which there kind of is on Discovery.
Used to, on the radio station in St. Petersburg when I was down there in the late 80s, it was broadcast that Spock's dad used to suck the dust out of clocks for a living? He was a Vulcan clock sucker. That was a
All right.
That was a
Give him 50 cents. He's taking the bus.
I wasn't my routine. I didn't make that up. I wasn't on the radio. And then
I thought you'd be going for the.
I was reporting what his dad did for a living.
I thought you'd be going for the. What's the what do they call it? The fan fiction.
Fin
where,
fan foom.
You know, Kirk and Spock declare their love for each other and just do the Vulcan nasty.
And you're getting on my case.
Yeah.
You know how they always say now that,
Give
slash,
50 cents.
what they call slash is, any time where you're going to pair two characters together. It actually comes from the Kirk/Spock romance fan fiction that people were writing in
When
the
you say
60s
pair, do you
and
mean
70s.
like partner or do you mean like team up?
Partner.
Not we're not talking crossover.
Right.
Okay. I think
these two characters, I hope they get together.
I am very cross.
Well, who wants to read crap like that? Don't you know comics is a pre-sexualized literary art form?
Don't tell that to R. Crumb.
Oh, I'm sorry, R.
Or
I'm sorry,
Chuck
Crumb.
Austin.
Why Chuck Austin?
You can't tell Chuck.
Because he did, before he worked for Marvel, he did that
strips
Hardball. And Hardball.
Yep.
Didn't he drew the Sportsmaster for the DC Who's Who? Is that
Yep.
same guy? Okay,
Yep.
yeah. That's what I thought he meant, that guy.
And he's also the guy they say ruined the X-Men. It's, no. The X-Men have been ruined many times.
I'll be back.
Yeah, but you pin it on somebody. Bob Harris ruined Tom Lyle's fault was the Clone Saga.
That was interesting because when we were in the Steve Brown's shop, we were just talking comics.
John Byrne.
And he had mentioned he didn't really dig the Hickman X-Men.
Yeah. Well, I could get that.
Yeah, and I get
Hickman's
that too.
writing style is not your typical Marvel, DC. It's
More Three Stooges?
I was amazed that his Avengers book sold so well.
It's better. His stuff reads better in graphic novel form because, like I said, he'll
not
drop
issue by issue.
He'll drop, because you'll be reading an issue and you're like, oh man, I can't wait. And the next issue he's on something totally else, but related from something 5 issues ago
Must
that
have
you
grown up
probably
on soap
forgot
operas.
about. More epic.
Or Vince McMahon's WWF.
And I gotta admit, I do. Once I like
Claremont's
bits and
X-Men.
pieces of Hickman's Avengers, and I collected and read the whole thing. But as I read it in omnibus form, it was like, oh, this makes much better sense.
Yes. And the
So his fault is his great long-term plan.
Yeah, which again,
What's Dreamer's Vault? That has magic cards and all that
that's
stuff. In
another one of those comics / just like in South St. Paul. They've got what do we figure? 6 stores in the Twin Cities.
oh wow.
I don't
Jeez.
know if everyone carries comics, but that's one of those days. If we decide to keep, we can go visit every single half price. Or
Me
every
carries
single
comics.
Vault. And had I known the Dreamer's Vault was there, I'd have said, okay, let's detour and check it out.
Instead, you're going to detour into the back of his car.
Hey, it's a Lexus. It deserves
You
it.
can take a good hit.
Infinity. It's that crossover with the X-Men and then Thanos.
Craymax.
They named a car after it.
The Infinity Formula.
So we did meet up with the lovely Lisa at Nerding Out.
Lisa, it's your birthday.
And then there was a
Happy
brewery
birthday, Lisa.
next to it. I didn't catch the name of it though.
It just said brewery.
Yeah, we went in, had a decent lunch. It's
Way more food than you think.
oh yeah, Mike, our good friend Mike, and Lisa's 12th anniversary. Mike, of course, passed away last month.
Yeah, the comic convention would have been this weekend, wouldn't it?
Yeah, in my Facebook feed, all these things come up, and of course,
Yeah, for me too, because I really wanted to go to the Half Price Book and Magazine show
Yeah.
at the.
yeah, because they always run that too.
Grandstand.
And
What about the convention? Nah.
oh, I'm like, what the hell was
Night.
that? Morning night.
I gotta
Tell
lose
if
about
AC's on or
60
not.
pounds.
Not with that suit.
So kind of a
This is the best version ever.
bittersweet weekend for Lisa,
Not my
Yeah.
opinion.
unfortunately. Well, we had some funny Mike stories. Get her smiling.
You're fired. Don't know how he got hired.
And then I realized the origin I thought of Mike is actually the origin of Little Mike.
Well, they're all the same origin.
It might be.
Yeah.
I'll swear Mike was working
Dave,
at Target.
same
and I'm
origin.
Like, and I'm like, oh, Dave just came with the shop. Because Jess was like,
Here's
I'm
a package deal.
going with the boys. And Dave was like across the street. And I'm like, oh, that's convenient.
I also came with the shop, but then the same way, I just still continued to linger.
Oh, don't mess this up. This could be big.
Why is he just going in the back like he owns the place?
Hey, there's Kaya.
Kia.
Hey, pick up your dog.
Yeah.
That lady over there is being pulled along with the dog. Dog just started taking off and you're...
Okay, but you have dogs.
Yes,
Why do people take dogs with them to the grocery store?
because they're mentally ill.
Okay, good.
Now you can take that soundbite and just use it as my answer for everything.
Kind of like we do with... Oh, Dan is with us. Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, there going to be any comic shows in the near future?
No. No.
No. I need to get a soundboard of I could just run like sound effects. Have them
Oh
all
God,
queued up
I
and just
love
ready
that.
to go.
I love that. That would be
He's gonna
so
puke.
much fun.
He's gonna puke. Can we start over?
We're live, pal. Whoa, I'm gonna get him. He didn't have much to say after that.
Oh God!
You're out of time. You're always out of time.
Oh God, I knew it.
Tino Santana, we're out of time.
I
And
told
Nick Bockley
myself.
go, ha! Ha! Do an asshole thing.
So was the AWA in your neighborhood, huh, Corey?
Yeah, we had him on the TV on 2 channels.
They had a massive territory. Like
It
would
was
have been
the Upper Midwest,
would have been a pain in the ass to work.
Illinois, Wisconsin, and then over
Like
in the
Nebraska,
Dakotas.
all the way out west, yeah.
And
Most of the way out
I
west. Chicago, sure.
think. Chicago may have had more than one.
Minneapolis
people there, but
blips.
they were big there.
Minneapolis.
Because that's where the East-West Connection lost the belt up in Green Bay.
Oh, or so they said when Pat Patterson was winning the belt down in Rio or wherever the hell it is.
He run it in a tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro.
Well, that was the tag team.
Well, it was
what
the-
they did.
It was just about around when he was tag team champion with Ray the Crippler
It was
Stevens here at the
something
AWA.
amazing because they usually never
Don't say usually
acknowledge
never.
any other place it happened. It's like, this happened up in Green Bay. We just happen to have cameras running.
Yeah.
Their infamous one.
Hey, that's the same way the match ended here.
They never had the match here.
Why?
High Flyers never fought definitively. They always fought, but they never fought. Next time it's going to be in a cage. No outside interference.
There was one local wrestling show I went to where the baby faces in the ring yelling at the heel, and he says, "I'll take you out anywhere. I'll take you out. Hey, somebody know where we can get a cage?" And he yelled for the owner, "Can we get a cage?
Yeah. We'll put
Because
one
I'll
up.
take him out in a cage.
We'll
If
put
we
one
can
up.
get a cage, I'll take you out in a cage."
You know, there's a lot of thing about scenic parking, but that's not the place to be.
Yeah, that is it's a crappy setup right there.
Yeah.
Crappy place to be broken down because it's broken. But other than that, I'm happy to be on this 1,000-foot high bridge.
So, Butch, you finally got your Ka-Zar comic.
I did.
So now you're all done. You've collected everything.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna rip out that one page and paste it up on my wall next to my bed. There we go.
And next time, I need another one. I ripped the other one up.
I need another one. Mine got ripped. The dogs ripped the page off the wall. I'm gonna get it blown up like that Hulk loves you, Sally.
Oh, I'm so glad I saved that and gave it back to you.
That's great.
Hulk loves you.
And now it's out in my basements, right where I can see it every day. Hulk loves you too, Sally.
See, if I were to
Hulk
get a
loves you,
Hulk
Sally.
page blown up, it'd be from the Defenders, where he goes to the grocery store and just drops all the beans. People like beans.
I love beans.
Minor me.
More beans.
Hunter's now Bambi! Good grief, Doc. Have you been bringing him to the movies again? Again.
There's a lot of great stuff in the Defenders.
I had a bunch of stuff from Invincible I wanted to just Xerox off and put as my Facebook page profile.
Yes.
And I forget what it was.
Well, you got to bend the
I
corner of the
only
page.
got 5 pages to go through. And that'd be the new segment on the shop. How long will it be until In Stock Trades sends me my stuff?
In Stock Trades.
.com. A lot of people are bitching online because they'll answer questions as long as it's not where's my order. Which is amazing because when you place the order, they get their money.
Well, it becomes a creative writing assignment then.
Yeah. Normally I'd like, hey, where's my stuff?
Like me trying to convince Cory that I like that AEW show.
Are you?
We both like it.
I love it. It's just one of the most serene hours, 2 hours of my week. 2 hours?
Sorry.
Hour and 45 minutes.
Serene.
By the way, the best part of this week's show,
Anything could happen in the AEW, but for real this time.
the butcher comes out. He's wearing his butcher smock
Spock?
and a monocle.
And a monocle, baby. Well, he's a maniac.
Sorry. Unless you're in the bathroom and the Amish chicken plucker peeks out of the stall next to you, nothing could happen.
Jeez.
Chickens. But he's wearing a monocle. That's just... Stuff like that is the stuff that cracks me up.
Nice detail, yep.
Or Billy Mitchell in the arcade. The guy in the suit and everything.
Oh, yeah, who is that?
Did you ever see the documentary King of Kong?
I did. That was him?
That's him.
I did not know that.
That's Billy
Had
Mitchell.
no idea.
The ultimate video game heel.
Very good. Oh, the video game heel. Nice work, AEW. Now I gotta go back and re-research the whole thing.
I love that movie.
I know I
It's
liked
one of
it.
those where it's like, people kept telling me, you've got to watch this.
Why are we
I'm
not
like,
at?
come
Why are
on.
we not at Tommy Chicago's Pizzeria?
Because I'm still full from the pretzel.
I meant me and Joe.
Tots.
I guess I got chicken at home.
Ah, you chicken.
I know.
Pretzel tots.
At least I got chicken.
I didn't ask you to cook for me. Why are you mad at me? Because you are.
Why do you want to cook?
Why do you want to cook meal in his house?
I wondered when that was coming.
It's all a matter of rhyme.
There was some other quote from it too that I can't remember what it was.
Now, Butch, when I get out, remember, you have to sit back here and get banged in the head 15 times by this damn...
Fair enough.
And look
Yeah.
what he did. He ruined the shrink wrapping. It was
Gotta-
perfect when I got it.
Hold
Cory,
it. Oh, return it.
It's
Corey
no longer in mint.
Cory ruined it. He
Time to
ruined my
return it.
silver mint Tonga.
Send it back.
Cory
Send
must
it
have had a
back.
rotten childhood.
What chalet is that?
That's all of them.
All of them.
That's where you get the Swiss chalet cheeses.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, the little the catalog you get every year? Give cheese for Christmas.
No, you know, I must be so far off the grid, I don't get any of that stuff.
Aww.
I want to cut the cheese.
You mean you don't get the little tiny cheese and the little tiny sausages
No.
and the box of 7 crackers?
I say thee nay. I say thee nay.
And like 4 of the hard strawberry candies
Oh,
that your grandma's had in
I
her
want.
dish for like since the 20s.
Yeah, because now that we're old, you know your teeth can't handle that candy.
So,
Since she was in her 20s.
what do you want to, when do you want to record this week?
I am free tomorrow night and Tuesday night.
All right. I will, let's aim for tomorrow, but I'll check with the boss to make sure I'm not treading on chicken night again.
I feel like chicken at night, like chicken at night.
Chicken oh, wrong thing.
Chunk chicken!
You want to take whatever we blitzed here and just throw it in as part of the podcast?
If we've got an hour, it'll be its own little podcast.
Yeah, but then you stack these things up. It's like, oh yeah, we went out, but we're going to talk. We're putting it in a fill-in episode 5 years from now.
Too late.
They're timeless.
They are not. I don't think these are, because we're talking about Nerding Out opening.
I was talking about the 4th of July
And
the whole time.
It's kind of like when I got the interview from that one guy.
Pandemic? What pandemic?
He closed. He was closed before we could even.
Yeah.
So
Too bad, because he had that trade paperback I wanted.
Is that the guy we went into his shop on Sunday and he was gone on Monday?
Yeah. And he gave me this wonderful interview about what it's like working with Diamond and all this stuff. And it's like, well, I guess it's useless. He's gone. He's gone. He disappeared in the night.
Going crazy in the night.
Damn it, I did it again.
Well,
Is that what you did on the way here the first time?
I don't remember what I did.
every time he did it.
We're used to him not remembering.
Around the corner. Around the coroner. Around the corner. Oh, mud run.
Front row.
Can you even imagine? There they go.
We're going to do the entire Cloverleaf.
We are. It's going to be a fun one.
So what else have you been reading, Butch?
Cloverleaf funnies. I read the novel Hunter by John Byron Allen or Saxton or I don't know what the guy's name is.
He doesn't know his name either.
Read that. I'm currently reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Oh.
Hey.
High on you?
Oh,
yes. Gets by on you.
I was thinking of a book.
Oh.
Your world is, no world is.
And I was just about, I'm just about to start reading The Three Jokers. How about that?
I love that book.
I've got issue 1.
I
I'm
like
waiting
the
for
art.
the next 2 in the next. I'm hoping it ships in the next shipment.
Oh yeah, the art will blow you away.
Yeah, that guy's good.
Blow me away!
That guy's good.
That guy really, really good.
It's weird, it's one of DC's best books of the year, and current people at DC are like, yeah, we just got to get this out.
Oh man.
Yeah, just dump it on. Yeah.
Because they've got something so much better waiting in the.
No, because Jeff Jones is no longer one of the big high muckety mucks anymore. So.
Oh well, that makes his work no good.
Well, it's no longer part of continuity.
Why?
Same reason as Doomsday Clock's no longer part of continuity. The people who were involved at the beginning weren't there at the end.
How do you pull the plug on continuity?
By firing the people in charge.
Oh, so that's really good for the fans. So, anything I buy just gets flushed down the toilet. So why come back?
Doomsday Clock. They're setting up this next crisis coming up, and then they said they're as they're looking for what was it, Dr. Manhattan? Somebody looking in the future. He sees Superman fighting this blonde god and a giant green monster, and I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. No, they're not.
And they had a great explanation for why, we have so many different versions of Superman, why Superman's always the first superhero.
Yeah.
Even though I'll stick with the Hyper Time.
I got better. It just seems like the
answer. Can't let go of that Superboy punch in the wall shit.
As I've said, if I were Marvel, I'd be knocking on Jeff Johns' door with a big bag of money.
Save us!
Here you go. Let's put the final nail in DC's coffin.
Yeah, DC's got a plan that's better than
they don't have
that
a
stuff.
plan.
They don't have a plan anymore.
Well, then stick with the fucking plan, you... Yeah.
Nope.
I don't know. The more I heard about 5G, the more I didn't like it.
I wanted to see more of it, rather than...
What was it? 5 Jokers?
Well, they were going to replace everybody with a younger generational counterpart.
Yeah.
And then have a crisis. And as we all know, when DC has a crisis, it's very bad on the younger people.
On the Flashes.
Yeah.
Flash always dies.
Basically, yeah, anybody who was there would be killed dead killed.
Wow, that's real creative.
They're dead. They're choppers.
It seemed to me, and maybe I was not understanding how it was done, but Jeff Johns always took all the information that there was and made it work.
Yeah.
He didn't just go, scrap this, get rid of that, shoehorn this. Maybe there's some shoehorning.
You know that stuff that happened before it never lasts.
No, he just took everything that ever happened and made it work.
Tear a red tornado apart, make him a tornado.
We don't want that.
No.
You mean the original red tornado?
No, that was somebody with a kettle on her head. Yeah, she's the only red tornado. The other one never existed.
Their mother and husband.
Yeah. Bear choppers. I'm going to work on this book for 5 days and leave.
We're going to hire this guy and have him do a shitload of work, and then get rid of him. Bring in somebody else, because that's better.
Okay, now I don't know where I am.
Because I got really excited about Rebirth.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea where they said, this stuff's gotten way too dark and way too grim. And we need to lighten it up.
Ridiculous.
My Aunt Petunia.
I thought that's what Brightest Day was. That was before times that they lightened it up.
They keep doing that.
The other week.
Everybody keeps forgetting, if you're doing a soap opera style ongoing story, you need to have points in time where the heroes kind of have an ideal life. Because if you don't, and you just keep messing with it all the time, there are no stakes anymore. Because, who cares? It's always been.
It's always the same, yeah. It's always the end of the universe.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday, and they've got
You mean multiverse?
They got the school light blinking.
Yeah, there's no school.
They're all on Zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. And here they killed Professor Zoom.
The kid has real school tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yes.
So she'll infect you.
Well,
Very infectious.
Oh, and Butch, did I tell you we need to enjoy the short, wonderful career
yes,
of Darby Allin?
Yes, you did. I think what you did is you did tell me that, but I heard you say it on the show too. Yeah, good one. I said the same thing about Guevara. I said enjoy Guevara while he's at his physical peak because of the stuff he does.
Well, do you watch NXT?
No.
Shotzi Blackheart's career is going to be just as short.
Oh, is she doing the same?
She's doing all these bumps where she's landing on her head. And,
there you go.
Oh, my God. Just don't. You're doing this on TV. You're doing this on TV that 600,000 people are watching.
Jeez. Ouch.
If you're going to do that sort of craziness, do it when you're getting paid big money on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. Don't take your bumps.
Like Matt Hardy said. You got a bump card. There's only so many punches on it. You don't know how many.
He's giving the clear. I would like to see it get back to where the 20 minutes of showboating in the ring is what gets the crowd worked up, and then there's barely a match.
Well, they can't do anything with the crowd right now, but AEW's their whole...
You can showboat in the ring for 20 minutes and there's nobody there. It's all
That'd be Larry Zbyszko during the dying days of AWA.
Hawaii, things are getting a little hot in here.
Yeah. Well, where's the heat, Corey? But also AEW's kind of built their brand on, all-out action, pedal to the floor the whole time.
Well, I suppose you got enough disposable practice dummies. You can do that. There was I don't have any. I just enjoy watching almost everybody that I watch. It used to be very easy to have guys you really liked and just guys you didn't like at all, and guys who were just kind of in the middle. And I don't know, maybe I've got an all across the board middle mentality now, but nobody comes on and I go, change the channel,
I do with Randy Orton.
Yeah, well, I meant in AEW.
Oh, AEW, no. But
yeah, on WWE, you can't blame the wrestlers. It's the programming
with
just
Randy
shit.
Because his whole thing is that he does his matches super slow to
Yep.
get heel heat.
Yep.
It doesn't give him heel heat with me. It gets the... God.
Yeah, I'll let you know what I come up with if I look at some of that.
Please, not another 5-minute
In
headlock.
fact, I think it's everybody on that show. Oh, shut it off. Ooh, here comes somebody and nothing's going to happen.
Or, here comes Seth Rollins talking crazy again. It has nothing to do with his personality, and
no one would ever say those words.
and who cares?
Is this you?
No, he was over there.
Hey, Hugh.
It's not even that I want to see Seth Rollins beat. I just want to see him stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
I cut it off.
Well, and okay, so Roman turned heel. Is there anything going on with that?
I am so far behind, I don't know. I am a month behind on WWE.
That's about where I'm at,
Except for NXT. Because NXT...
And I'm about 4 months behind on that. Never to catch up, I might add, on any of it.
Well, eventually. I'm looking at one day maybe I'll be in the hospital for a week and I get caught.
You got that to look forward to if you make it to the hospital.
Just that, in my life every so often I go, I'd really like to be in the hospital for a week so I can just catch up on my TV.
Check your... Speaking of which...
Chicken steak in the road.
Check yourself in. We're back at Nerdin Out.
Yay!
They still don't have any food
It
trucks.
just doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, we're here on the third day, though.
Now, you realize they're still open. You
All
can
the
go in.
good stuff is gone.
You can go in and dig out the rest of those books.
Nah, I gotta get home.
Oh, that's right. You do have to get home, don't you? Nah, I got go. Where's that thing?
Well, there you go. We were all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know how much we covered because we went to Nerding Out, and we went out to eat. Lisa took off. We went over to see Cedar Cliff. Steve Brown was there. We took a drive by Heroic Games on Minnehaha, Minneapolis. And, he had his stuff in his store. So he's also doing a major clearing out of Marvel Legends action figures. So if you look for him, Heroic Goods and Games, either on the Facebook, and then you can find his website where he's clearancing out his stuff. Drove by Dreamhaven, closed. Although Cory got to sit on the new Shazam bench because apparently the Batman bench was beaten up during the riots recently. Or just wear and tear. I mean, it sits in the sun. But we did get into the nostalgia zone, and I don't even recall if we talked about that, but it was a good day. Kind of a quick impromptu.
Now we get to Joe's favorite part of the show. No, not where we were able to get done in 15 minutes.
Woohoo!
No, it's Joe, what's going on the eBays?
Well, I thought we would take a quick switch and I could talk about maybe things that I bought on eBay. Because, why should I sit here and tell you, hey, come buy stuff from me week after week when I'm not practicing what I preach? Sometimes I get just real excited about things that we talk about. Like when we were talking about Conan the Barbarian, number 275 being the last issue of the Marvel run, the first Marvel run of Conan the Barbarian, and how Roy Thomas came back to write that particular issue. Well, wouldn't you gosh darn know it? Someone had the signed edition signed by Roy Thomas on the eBays. So I was back and forth trying to make a deal. Remember how I told you make a deal, send him an offer. He counter-offered, and we closed the deal. So I have in my hands, with a certificate of authenticity, Conan the Barbarian 275 signed by writer Roy Thomas. And it's a limited treasure edition certificate of authenticity. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. And who knows, maybe years from now, someone can come back in time and say, yeah, Joe kept it for about 3 years and then sold it.
Which is pretty typical for
it's
Joe.
Fairly typical. Cory, do you know what the first appearance of Marvel's Death Head is?
You told me that it was in some Transformers comic.
Yep, the Marvel UK Transformer editions. And again, I got to pull out the magnifying glass. I'm trying to figure out what's the slowest one. He actually appears in the strip, and we're talking, this is, let's see, what's the earliest one? Looks like 101. And what it is he's hired essentially to kill Galvatron. Don't worry if you don't know who that is, but he's really, really tough. At the time, Death's Head was the size of the gigantic robots. So it was a pretty good fight. And he ends up coming back and helping them against Unicron. And again, this is the Marvel UK series, so unless you've lucked out, and at one time I had all these and I read them, or you pick up the Titan Books series that reprints them all. I think it's Fallen Angel and then Unicron. You wouldn't catch that. Now, how do you think he gets down to our beloved human size that we see him? Well, he runs into another UK staple at the time, the Ninth Doctor. No, I'm sorry, the Eighth Doctor, played by Sylvester McCoy, who, of course, you know, is a scamp. And he uses a tissue degenerator to shrink him down to, I guess you'd call it human size. And that's why later on in the UK series, you see there's a picture, I think it's issue number 8, where Death's Head's saying, yeah, I do this one for free, yes. And on the screen, there's Doctor's TARDIS. And so he goes after that Doctor's. And that's the one, if you have the incomplete Death's Head, you can't, they can't reprint anymore. So now you know. But everybody's gone bug nuts for Dragon Claw number 5, another Marvel UK title. And allow me to wake up the old Kray 3000 again. So look at Dragon's Claw. Whoops. Sorry. There it is. Again, this is a Marvel UK title. Round, and let's see, blah, blah, blah. Number 5. They're saying number 5 is allegedly the first appearance of Death's Head 1, which is not true. Because as we mentioned earlier, he actually appears in a strip called I'm trying to find out where he appears. It appears in he just appears in a panel in another magazine, because what happens is if you're doing this for Hasbro, who owns the Transformers, any characters you create become property of Hasbro. Well, they like Death's Head so much that they had him appear in a strip called High Noon Text, which predated him appearing in Transformers, which is why Marvel still has the rights to Death's Head. They did the same thing in the current American line with a character called Circuit Breaker, where she appeared in Secret Wars 2 before she appeared in the Transformer comic. And I'm going to write myself a note. I don't think she's appeared in anything since. So again, they're not all winners, people, but you never know. So again, Dragon Head's number 5 is insanely expensive. The other ones are anywhere from 50 cents to $1. This one, I think the cheapest one is like there's $14 on some sites. eBay's got it upwards of $30, $40. So not the true first appearance. And then, of course, there's a number of graphic novels that are in and out of print. Like I said, the aforementioned Titan one, because they don't have the rights to publish Death's Head anymore. They can't publish Doctor Who. They can't publish anything they cross over in. And I think they just did a graphic novel last March of all the appearances they could publish of Death's Head. So if you want to get caught up in some of this early stuff, including a series I guess he appeared in called Strips, which, again, I'm talking way too much. Why talk about all this? Well, while I have Fallen Angel, I don't have the Transformers Legacy of Unicron issue. So I went to the eBays and bought it. And as well as the aforementioned Doctor Who magazine and the Conan, and I also picked up a little tiny Planet Express ship figure from Futurama out of the Loot Crate. So now I can put that alongside all my other Star Wars pictures. So see, Kray puts his money where his mouth is, and I buy as well. However, if you want to buy from me and keep funding my habit, believe me, all the stuff that we just did, it's kind of like in eBay out to retailers. So I'm doing my best to keep my friendly neighborhood comic shop in business. You can too. Just come check out eBay. See anything you want. You know what to do. Send me a note that you listen to this here podcast. I'll cut you a deal. And, there's only one thing left to say. Come get some.
Now, because we have so much audio from our running around, we really are just going to say goodnight.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. I have a sneak peek for everybody.
Uh-oh.
If you recall last year, I was, we'd actually get
last year, decade ago, who cares?
What happened for a while was we were getting different bands and groups to drop music at the end of this here podcast. And then it kind of fell by the wayside, and then COVID kind of killed it. But those guys are up and running. And an old college friend of mine, David Dersch, has his band. They're hard at work in the studio working on their first CD. And he says I could drop a sneak peek on one of the tracks. It's a song called Wind That Shakes the Barley. I'm just going to drop the names. It's Rich McGuire, lead vocal and guitar. My buddy Dave Dersch on accordion, harmony vocal. Ian Thomas on fiddle, harmony vocal. Catherine Dersch, and there's a relation there. Drums, harmony vocal. And Scotty Karina on bass guitar. I hope you enjoy this excerpt. This is from the band Irina's Call. Ariane's Call. I got to remember, Anyways, they're performing The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Corey, hit their music.
Was hard the woeful words to frame, break the ties that bound us. Harder still to bear the shame of foreign chains around us. And so I set the mountain glen I'll seek at morning early, and join the bold united men while soft wind shook the barley. While sad I kissed away her tears, my fond arms round her flinging. Foam and shot burst on our ears from out the wildwood ringing. Bullet pierced my true love's side in life's young spring so early. On my breast in blood she died, a soft wind shook the barley.